to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey, welcome back to the Beacon House Podcast. Again, everybody, what's up? I'm your host, Spence, and that's sitting across from me. Who's that right over there? Tell me who you are over there.
It's Grace Steele.
Damn, Grace Steele, you should have known. Freaking good to see you again, man. What's been going on?
Good to see you. Nothing.
I was out of town for just a second, but I'm back now. I've got a couple stories, but I want to start with something. Let's start with you. Let's start with anything you've got to talk about.
Always put me on the spotlight with it.
No, I just know that when I start talking, I'm going to talk too much like a freaking asshole, you know? So I'm going to give you a chance to conversate.
Nothing really. There's really not much going on. Just been Christmas shopping. Traffic is absolutely horrible.
It is. Are you still doing like in-person Christmas shopping? Like you're going store to store, putting in the work?
I do both.
Yes.
So I like to, when I buy gifts, I really love to buy gifts for people.
I do too.
Like a lot. So I try to find something unique. So I go to a lot of like vintage or thrift shops to find gifts, or antique stores.
Yes.
Or like I'll online, like if there's some like, you know, portrait of where they need their animal or something like that. So that's what I usually do. So most of the time I'm having to go into stores to find what I want.
Right.
So yeah, I'm in that hustle bustle. But thank God I'm getting it done before 2 weeks before Christmas, because that's when it's the worst.
I respect that. And I'm not shaming anybody. I mean, everybody, again, freaking after the last couple of years, everybody shops however they can, like obviously. But I find it weird because I'm old school. Well, because I'm old. So you're automatically old school. But like, I find it weird how many people this year, like I'll go, hey, what's been going on? They'll go, oh, I got all my Christmas shopping done. And I go, oh, where did you go? And they go, I didn't go anywhere. I just bought everything on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not saying like, it's still better to give somebody a gift, I think.
Yeah, and it can still be personal.
Sure. But it's just weird to like.
It is weird.
I find that strange because I remember the fight. Like you earned those gifts. Like I remember being at the mall and just having to like, if seeing something and people are in line to get it and you have to not.
I did that today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I literally had
Did
to
you
like
beat somebody's ass?
No, there was like 3 old women behind me, and I was like, there were 3. I'm not going to say what it is, but there were these 3 different.
Oh yeah, because somebody might hear their gift,
and they were all like came like, and I've been trying to get to the store for
like
2 days. For 2 days, and every time I've gone, they've been closed. But I knew that they had what I wanted because I was in there a week prior. So I finally got in there, and I was like, people were like picking them up, and I like power walk like over there, and I see it, and so like I gotta call my mom to like get her advice, and like see people behind me like looking at the ones I want, and so I just grabbed 3 of the ones that like I wanted, and I'm like, no, they're gonna wait their turn. They can have whatever I don't pick.
Damn right. That's exactly right. First come, first serve.
Yeah, so I picked the one I wanted. I put the other 2 back on the shelf, and I saw the little old ladies look up, and they just put it back down. I was like, yeah, you are not gonna get that one.
Shit, like a cane comes down on your shoulder. Ow! Like
but yeah, I mean,
so a can of Ensure flies at you. Ow! Hits me in the. Sorry.
I mean, it's convenient to shop online.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. But
sometimes you can only get the thing you're looking for online. Like sometimes, dude, I'm like one of, and I've anybody who's been listening to this for a while has heard me like go on to whine about the demise of bookstores and things like that because I love bookstores. But man, it got to the point where like there were certain books that you couldn't find in the bookstore. They just, and I guess there's a reason for like maybe they couldn't carry the inventory because I don't know, but Amazon just slayed all the bookstores. You know, remember Amazon was originally a book, like that's where you got books.
That's why I was so, when I remember being like 13, 14 and getting a gift card for Amazon from like my grandparents.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is Amazon? I was like, what am I going to buy from Amazon? A book? God. But I used to not like to read as much as I do now.
You're like mega reader now, aren't you?
I really like to read.
Yeah,
it's taking me forever to read this one book, but I am reading 2 others at the same time.
That's insane.
But I gotta ignore these other 2 and just finish this fucking book because it's driving me insane that it's taken me 2 months to just get through it when usually I can read a book in like 4 or 5 days.
One of my relatives out in Kansas City was talking about reading, like being involved in like 3 different books at once. And that blew my mind because I can only do a book at a time, if that. But like, yeah, man, no shame at how you shop or whatever. But yeah, sometimes you've got to go online. Sometimes that's the only, the clock's ticking.
You got to do it.
So I do. But yeah, Christmas shopping can be a little bit rough.
It's stressful. This year, I've made it pretty simple. I'm not buying anyone outside of my family a gift. And my family, they're just getting one gift. My daughter's getting multiple, but like everyone else is getting one gift.
That's good.
And that's it.
Dude, and I learned to kind of condense it like that too. Just like there's a few of my employees and just like, and again, I don't have a whole ton of immediate family. So that it's actually pretty easy on me, but I've got some employees that really, really take care of me throughout the year. So I got to get them something and it's not too bad.
It's always nice to get a gift from your employer. When I worked at Young Williams, Janet Testerman, who's the CEO, she would give I think there's like 130 total, maybe 140, maybe more because they've expanded employees under the umbrella of Young Williams. That's like spay and neuter, the village, all of that. And she will personally deliver your present to you while you're at work and like give it to you. And like, it's nice. And she like puts a message for each one for you. That's
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas is a good time for people to show their friends or their family or their employees that they give a crap. So don't sleep on that, folks.
Yeah, don't sleep on that.
But no, you said you had a couple things that you wanted to maybe go over.
I mean, which one?
I don't know. You had a little list.
I did. I have a list. Look at me.
Throw a dart. Close your eyes. Whatever. Unpack.
Okay, I got one for you because I did this like all last week.
This is the Grace Steele wheel of topics.
So
the steel wheel.
I am not a neat person.
What are you talking about?
Like cleaning, like I'm not dirty, but I'm messy. I will admit I'm messy. I'll have like 5 laundry baskets in my room at once with some like dishes maybe and dirty clothes on the floor. And my makeup's like cluttered everywhere, right? So is
that messy or is that pretty average?
I feel like it's average, but I do have people my friends who are a lot cleaner than I am, and so like they're a lot more organized. So,
I get it, dude. I'd say you're in this grand scale of things. I'd say you're probably fine because I know some people that are just insanely neat where it's like, it looks like they never even put one thing out of place and it's crazy. Or you go to their house and it just looks like it was professionally cleaned by a cleaning service. But I feel like most girls have some makeup on, like scattered about on their counter and their dresser.
Like stuff is and it'll be like random stuff mixed in. You know what I mean? And I have a snack drawer. I gotta
I love that. I love that.
I got candy, chips, Oreos. I got Cheez-Its in there. I got all sorts of stuff.
Bro, you know how to live.
It's because I usually wake up in the middle of the night hungry or craving chocolate.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to wake up in the middle of the night and I don't want to like get out of my warm bed or go all the way downstairs. So like I just have chocolate right there. Or when HG comes around, she needs to eat. She needs to eat.
HG gotta eat, bro.
So,
you gotta keep a snack on hand for HG.
Yeah. It's so literally the top drawer of my nightstand is just like junk, like scissors, pins,
same.
Not Adderall, ibuprofen, squirt. We got random shit in there, and then my second drawer is for my toys.
Yes, the adult drawer,
the
snack drawer,
and then the snack drawer is right underneath the adult drawer.
Nice. Business first, pleasure later.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So what I was saying about cleaning, so I feel like I am messy, but so I have 2 roommates. I live with my sister and her boyfriend.
Okay.
And they were gone all night, and it's not normal. I'm not used to having the house all to myself for like hours and hours on end.
Yeah.
They're homebodies, so they're always home. So I made a fire. I got me some of that Shiner Cheers Christmas beer, which is my favorite holiday beer. It comes out at the beginning of December. Shiner Bock makes, it's called Cheers. It's basically Christmas in a bottle.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I'll check it out.
It's really good. and I put on some music, listened to some R&B, and I just cleaned.
I love doing that.
You know, got some salsa and chips, and I took my time. I didn't stress. I like went through every little thing and cleaned, and I just feel like it was very therapeutic to do it that way. You know, but I'm curious at how other people clean. Like,
I do it exactly. Okay, I either do it exactly like that, where I take my time and like I'll like. But here's the thing, though. I just like you were being totally honest. I'll be honest too. I usually wait way too long. I wait till there's like a sink full of dishes, and like because I stay really, really, really busy. And I'm going to go ahead and say like. If you have a busy schedule, it's okay to let some things go on the back burner. You have to. But you have to, like, it's okay sometimes if you're doing something else. But, or if you don't know, if it's not going to affect anybody, who cares? Like, I was going to ask if you had roommates and if they have any complaints. If they're not complaining,
no,
screw them.
it's just.
Then you're doing fine. But I'll usually wait way too long. And then if I've got company coming over, I'll be like, oh, shit. And I scramble like a madman and just do, like, that's when I grab like a pile of clothes and just throw them in the closet and close it.
Like and my daughter, she shoves everything underneath her bed.
Yeah, I'm basically like that, except probably not as good. Or if I actually have time to clean something, like I get into it like that. I'll put like headphones on or earbuds. I'll listen to like either a podcast, an audiobook, or just music or something like that, and I go crazy and I really dig in. I take my time. Like I love vacuuming. I love vacuuming if I've got music.
If it's a good vacuum, I can't stand if it's not a good vacuum.
I have two. I have a crappy one and a good one.
Oh, God, I hate our vacuum, but I love to vacuum too. Yeah. I get in the spots.
Oh yeah, I take the hose out and I go in the crack. Yeah,
I have 3 dogs, but Finn, this lovely beast laying on the floor next to me,
which is a gorgeous specimen.
Is so furry. His hair gets everywhere.
Finn does?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's horrible.
He's super well groomed. He looks super soft and clean and wonderful.
Well, thank you. I don't brush him.
Really?
Sometimes, like when I give him a bath, like I might brush him then, but I need to like brush him
he's
normal.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's sheds. It's everywhere. I can't. I'll be eating somehow. I'm like, how does your just like. How is your hair here?
How's your hair in my mouth?
Like, what is this? Just it gets everywhere. So I love to vacuum too. But
yeah. I mean, I have cats and they shed too, and it's the same business like that. But no, I think cleaning is super therapeutic, and and also the payoff is big. Like once you get your room or whatever clean. Like so, recently I came back from out of town, and I came back to like a busted water line, and they were like digging the yard up, and I was like, oh crap, and it was this whole thing.
It's a headache.
It was a total headache, and like just as a matter of fact, just today, it's been a 3 or 4 day long thing. Like they fixed the water line outside, but then the water pressure was too high, and it screwed up the valves. Water was leaking from everywhere, and it flooded my bathroom, flooded my laundry room, flooded my kitchen. But at like different times. I mean, it was just nuts. So I got down to, by the time the plumber got there today, I just had like one bathroom working and a shower and a toilet, But so I was okay, but I was just like, couldn't do dishes, couldn't do laundry, blah, blah, blah. But
the things that you want to do when you come home from a trip.
So it was a little stressful, but the water that flooded a little bit like that, it kind of ran into like old boxes that need to be thrown away. It kind of forced me to go in and do some deep cleaning in those. And so actually, now that the plumber's gone, it's cleaner than it's been in a long time, but it kind of forced me into having to do it. And I needed to do it. But the therapeutic payoff of like when all the stuff's thrown away and it's like clean and you've mopped and it's
like you dust, like I dusted, wiped everything down, got stuff that's been sitting in one spot for months and months.
Yeah.
And I are like, God, finally you get through all that.
I've got some bookcases and I'll go through and dust that. If you want to talk about feeling like a freaking professor or feeling English as fuck, go dust some bookcases, okay?
Well, I have a book. I since I read all the time, that's what I did.
Yeah, I felt like I was at Hogwarts.
I was wiping down everything in between, rearranging. Yeah, my thing is just how long is it going to stay this way?
Oh, for me, it's not 10 minutes. Like the minute I vacuum, a cat throws up. It barfs. I'm just like, thanks a lot.
No, I'm talking about like not by like something that you can't help, but like I need to. So I went from 5 laundry baskets down to 1 for my dirty clothes. I now have accumulated 2.
Did you accumulate more clothes? Is that why?
Yeah, because I bring it up but I hate putting laundry away. It's the bane of my existence.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not much different from you. Once about like by the time I've gone through a wash cycle and a dry cycle, and like generally, I've either got somewhere to be or I got to go to bed or something like that. I have so little time to do shit like that I don't usually put it away. I put it in a basket and I put a blanket over that so the cats can't get on it.
Can't get in it.
And then later I'll come and like fold everything.
Do your cats like to, if you ever leave drawers open?
100%. Like, and if I
had a cat that would do that. His name was Mojo, and because I'm really bad at leaving my drawers open and not closing them after I get a shirt, and he will
every shirt's covered in cat hair.
Yeah, he would just make his bed in this one drawer, and that's where he would sleep.
My cats are a bunch of dildos. I even shut all the drawers, and they found a way to go in the back. So literally, I swear to God, one time, like I'd folded all my t-shirts up, and for some reason, I put all the white t-shirts on the bottom, not thinking they could get in from the back, and like I pulled the drawer out, and as I pulled the drawer, there was a cat in there. Like I opened a drawer of cat.
What's that movie where you're opening drawers and there's just like an animal right there?
I don't know, but that's what it was. He looked up at me, and I was like, all the shirts are just covered in cat hair. I just closed the drawer. I was like, have a nice nap, pal. Go to hell. But
that's how I feel about with his hair. It's just everywhere.
I know. Yeah.
I hate it so much. Yeah, so that was something I did that this weekend.
Did a little
I really
cleaning.
liked it. I did some cleaning, but I know people get stressed about cleaning. My mom sucks at it.
You've got to like take it easy on it. You've got to like if you don't have time to do it, you got to not beat yourself up over it, you know. But if you can find the time to do it, I think it is very therapeutic, you know.
It is, and it's something that just has to be done. Okay, well, any movies you want to see,
bro? They're always
tons.
Okay. We need to do it. So the previous host of this podcast, Hunter and Casey, they watched movies like they were like cinephiles, and they were at the movies like 2 or 3 times a week, or they were watching something on HBO. Like I like once again, and everybody's sick of hearing this, but I stay busy so much that I just don't have time to watch a lot of movies. And so like a lot of movies come out, I want to see that real bad. And then like I never see it, and it comes and it goes.
Do you forget about them?
Sometimes I do. I actually did see a movie on the plane from Charlotte to Kansas. And it was called The Night House.
Yes.
Starring Rebecca C. Hall.
It's good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was trying to figure out what was going on, but that was one I really wanted to see. I like her a lot because she's in a lot of creepy shit that I like. And I think she's a stellar actress, but I actually got to watch that on the plane. So these days, that's almost what it takes for me to see a freaking movie.
Being on a plane from Kansas
trapped
City.
in the air for 3 hours.
I want to see Belfast.
Belfast. Tell me about that. I don't know about that.
It's a young boy and his working family in Belfast, and their experience the late 1960s. Has Jude Hill, Lewis McCaskey, if I said that correct.
Interesting.
There's no one really famous in it. It's just really interesting. You just need to check it out.
The one I want to see probably worse than anything is called Licorice Pizza.
Oh, yes. That's on my list.
I'm so into seeing that. I made a Facebook post about that like way back earlier this year when I saw the trailer for it, and I just said like, it's hard to tell these days, but I really feel like this one might slap.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be an awesome one. Have you seen Unforgivable with Sandra Bullock and Netflix yet? I'm about to watch that one.
I have not. Been in prison. She gets out of prison or something.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, just that movie's going to hit hard.
I get it.
I'm excited to see that one.
I have not seen that one. I've not seen it, but I did on YouTube. Like when I'm zoning out, just watching YouTube clips, and the feed keeps coming up. I saw a clip of Sandra Bullock on Kelly Clarkson's talk show, and they were so tickled. It's really, really good. If you can just remember to YouTube, like Sandra Bullock gets tickled with Kelly Clarkson, like they can't even stay on track for the interview. like everything Kelly Clarkson tries to say to her, Sandra Bullock says something real shitty, like in a joking way. And like she goes, "Did you call me a whore?" And she's like, "No, I would never call you a whore."
Sandra Bullock, I feel like, is so
she's funny
sense of humor.
as shit.
She's funny as hell, and she has so sarcastic. I feel like me and her would get along. Like me and her would fucking rock it out in a room, like back and forth.
She says something like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, both of my parents are dead, so I became a singer." And Kelly Clarkson goes, "Oh, that's cool." She goes, "What? That my parents are dead?" And she's like, "No, I didn't mean." And they're just like dying. So that was pretty
I'll
good.
have to YouTube that.
It's worth a YouTube for sure. It's a funny interview.
The next movie, the one I really want to see, and it's actually out right now. I don't know why I haven't watched it.
This is a big time for movies.
The Humans.
The Humans.
Have you heard about it?
No, tell me about this.
It's like a drama / comedy sort of like.
Okay.
It's basically like an inside a pre-war duplex in downtown Manhattan. The humans follow the course of an evening in which the Blake family gathers to celebrate Thanksgiving. There's crumbling buildings, mysterious things start to go bump in the night, and the family's tension reach a boiling point. But it's got Richard Jenkins in it, who I find hilarious. Amy Schumer's in it.
Oh, shit.
So you know you're going to laugh your ass off. And Stephen Yeun?
Yin? Stephen Yin.
Y-E-U-N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that. The Humans.
The Humans.
I'll check it out.
I'm going to watch it.
I want to see, I think it's One Night or Last Night in Soho.
Yeah. Oh, I got that on my list too.
I want to see that for sure.
Looks like really good.
Did you see Queen's Gambit?
Yeah. Yes.
Like after that,
That was great. In love with her. She's beautiful.
I'm intoxicated with that woman.
God,
Well, at first, she's not like classically beautiful. She's like weird. I was like, "What's this? This girl's weird. Like her eyes are real far apart." Like I'm not trying to be insensitive, but you know what I mean. She's awkward looking at first, and then after you watch her, maybe that's like true beauty. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we talked in the last episode about how
she doesn't look like there's no
guys
one else that looks like her.
Yeah, and so you're kind of like
she's not that. She doesn't have an average face. She doesn't look like anything else. Like there's a lot of faces you can see in Hollywood or actresses that are trying to make it, and they just don't have that face. She does. Like, she
has something
out.
very particular about her. But when you see her talking and acting and like moving through the universe, doing stuff, she's absolutely intoxicating. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like
I find her beautiful.
Yeah, but in like a lot of different ways, like a lot of layers. Like
is she a celebrity crush of yours?
I don't know if I would.
Has she gotten there?
I have celebrity crushes, but I don't know if she's one. I just think she's one of those people where like I can't afford not to watch. Like something crazy is gonna kind of like Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt's usually in stuff that I really like, and I obviously don't have a crush on.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Like if they're in a movie like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was done.
I am so disappointed in myself for not finishing that movie. I got to put that on my list.
The ending is the whole.
I know.
I'll say no more.
Say no more. I didn't finish it. I went to sleep. It was like super
long.
late. I think I was in a bad mood anyways.
Go back.
So I'm so mad that I didn't because those are great, actors, the director.
The ending will fuck you. At the ending, you'll be like, "What?"
Okay,
seriously,
I'll definitely get into it.
Yeah, but those are people that usually like if they have any. And Jennifer Lawrence, I usually go see her movies.
Everything Jennifer Lawrence is in. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal, but he's my husband. I don't think me and him would get along, like our personalities. Yeah, I just feel like we wouldn't. But
he's dreamy.
God, he is.
He is the dreamiest. See, that's how I feel like a lot of men. I'm probably one to feel that way about like Gal Gadot that played Wonder Woman. It's hard. You're just like Jesus. Come on, like she's got to be higher up on the evolutionary. Like
she
really?
is. She's absolutely beautiful. Here, she's really actually down to earth. Very really calm, chill, homebody.
Interesting.
So that's nice.
I'm trying to think of like the last person I was just like, oh my God, like I literally falling in love during the frickin' movie. Like, oh, I can't take it. I can't remember. I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head.
Jonah Hill is probably his personality. Is probably the personality I would go for the most.
Did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
Of course.
It's my favorite.
Is that your favorite movie?
Maybe my favorite Jonah Hill. Maybe
he did amazing in it. It was hilarious. But I can never. Superbad.
It's incredible.
Superbad?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is still one of the most epic comedy.
I just like
it's
the
always
scene
where
when they're on the Quaaludes and they're trying to stop him from
answering. He's so fast. He's a freak.
Oh my God.
He's a freak. He's too fast.
That's about it for me. I can't think of any other movies, but I know there's some other good ones that are coming out, and I probably forgot. But Licorice Pizza is probably at the top of my list. That's the one I've been looking out for. I feel like if I go see it, it's going to make me feel things, and I like movies that kind of break you a little bit inside. The Mr. Rogers, not the movie, not with Tom Hanks, but the Mr. Rogers documentary that came out.
That was a great one.
That got me, and also The Shape of Water. As weird as it was, The Shape of Water. It's about this girl that falls in love with this like merman kind of a thing. It's another really bizarre actress that's like super beautiful, but in an unconventional way. It won like an Oscar that year, but it's called The Shape of Water. Check that out.
I'll put that in my notes. See,
I see. There's some dog. I get it. So I will tell you. So I'm returning from my trip with some stories. Would you like to hear them?
Yeah, I want stories.
Okay, so I flew. I went to Kansas City because I got some family out there. I don't know if any of them listen, but if they are, shout out. You guys are wonderful. They took care of me. There's so much good food in Kansas City. They fed me crazy barbecue every day and other things. And I was just like, I was absolutely spoiled in Kansas City. But and also, luckily, I didn't get my ass kicked in the airport by Tools drummer Danny Carey.
That is, I saw that this morning. It's hilarious.
He got into, I guess, with
his
security or something. Yeah, his mugshot. He was so mad, and he was wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jersey. So apparently, he's like Kansas City all the way. But I don't know. He got into it with somebody at the airport, and they freaking arrested him. And apparently at one point he told the cops, he goes, "Wait, I'm the drummer for Tool." And they were like, "Get in the car."
Like, we don't care.
You just beat some guy's ass by the freaking X-ray machine or whatever. But no,
he's
so
got enough money to bond out.
I feel like he's going to be okay.
I think he'll be okay.
So I survived that, and I learned a lot of stuff about. So Kansas City is actually in Missouri. It's very close to Kansas. In fact, one of my relatives works in Kansas. But we're hanging out there and we're talking about stuff, and they said Missouri's an interesting place. Have you ever heard of Skidmore? And I went, "What? Skidmore?" No. And they go, "Well, so there's this little bitty town, and I mean little, like it's a little farming town up in northern Missouri. And what happened in this town," as I get my notes here, they told me an abbreviated version of this, but I was so blown away with this story. And there's a bunch of documentaries about it too. So I did a little research so I can tell the story a little bit better. But anyway, there's a town called Skidmore in Missouri where the entire town basically covered up a brutal, cold, plain inside day murder because the guy so the question is, why would an entire town cover up a murder? How could anybody be so bad that not one decent person in the town? And I'll tell you, and you can Google this stuff too, but I'll give you abbreviated version. So there was a man named Ken Rex McElroy, and he was killed.
Can you say that again?
Ken Rex McElroy.
Okay.
I was doing quote marks in the air around the Rex. Rex might have actually been his real middle name, but he was killed on July 10th, 1981 in Skidmore, Missouri. Population at the time, I think, was like 437 people. Killed in plain sight in the middle of the town, right outside a tavern. And so nobody was ever convicted of anything. And the FBI came in to investigate, and everybody in the town simply said, "We didn't see anything." Crazy. And to this day, there's never been anybody convicted of the murder. But let me give you a little bit of backstory about Ken McElroy. So he was like a huge, like 6.5 foot, 270 pound violent criminal. He kept doing all kinds of terrible stuff in this town. It's a little town too, so the whole town was terrorized by this guy. And he might have had a brain injury. Like, he was just very violent, and he did all kinds of reprehensible stuff. But he always escaped conviction because he had a lawyer from Kansas City that was like in with the mob. So the guy apparently had some money or something, but basically
Kansas City was big in the mob too.
Okay, well then this guy had a mob lawyer, and he literally would brag to people, "I can't get caught. I'll do whatever I want to you." And he just did whatever he wanted in the town. So here's some of his highlights. He was accused of raping young girls, but before they could convict him, he would marry in quote marks also, so that they couldn't testify against him. Apparently, it was illegal to testify against someone that you were in wedlock with. So
it's still illegal in most states. You cannot testify against your spouse.
Really? See, I didn't know that, but that's...
So like if me and you were married and you had killed someone and I knew about it, they could not get me to testify against you.
Shit. Well, so he did this multiple times with like these super young, like teenage girls. And the very last person that was his, quote, wife, they had a kid when she was 14. And she tried to escape to her parents' house, where he went and burned the house down and shot their dog.
Fucking hate him.
Took her back.
I would hate him too.
Yes. And then later, apparently they had a daughter, and the daughter stole some candy from like a grocery store, and the grocer came over and asked her to pay for it. At which point he went, shot the grocer in the neck with a shotgun, and then still managed to get out on bond. Like, he got caught for that one, but he wasn't in, like, he didn't go to jail or prison for it, rather. So this guy was a terror to this tiny little frickin' town, Skidmore, Missouri. And on July 10th, 1981, the town held a meeting while this guy was at the pub getting liquored up. The whole town holds a meeting, which included the mayor and the sheriff of the town. And this wasn't like 100 years ago. This was in the 80s.
This is 30 years ago.
This is 30 years ago. This is
right.
This is after Van Halen. Like, this is modern times. And everybody, like most of the people in the town, were in attendance to this meeting at the town hall. What are we going to do about this guy? How are we going to defend everybody from him? Blah, blah, blah. He's got everybody terrified. And apparently the guy, if somebody witnessed him doing something, which he stole cattle, he stole like livestock, he did all kinds of terrible stuff. But if somebody saw him, he would go sit outside their house and just hold a gun. Like day in and day out.
Just
terrorizing these people because he figured he couldn't get, he's just a real bad guy. Ken Rex McElroy. So that day, July 10th, 1981, the meeting disperses, and somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 people went to the tavern where he was, waited for him to come out. He got in his truck. They surrounded the truck, and then multiple people gunned him down in the truck. There were bullets that were found in this guy were from different guns, different kinds of bullets.
I bet they were all angles.
It had to be. But when, like, the coroner came, everybody was just still standing there and go, we didn't see anything. And nobody said anything about it. They literally just, we didn't see anything. He just died right there. Even though he had obviously been gunned down by the entire town of Skidmore. And no one reported seeing anything. The FBI came in to investigate, and still same thing. The whole town hated this guy so bad that everybody kept a secret, like in solidarity.
Loyalty right there.
Yeah. And no one was ever convicted for the murder of this guy, even though it was obvious that like everybody freaking saw it. And to this day, the case of Ken McElroy remains unsolved.
I like it.
Yeah, and there's documentary. There's
I was just say, is there a documentary? I'd love to watch it.
There's a book about it called In Broad Daylight, and then there's a documentary about it, which I forget what it's called. But
Skidmore,
if you Google Skidmore, but it's other than corn, it's the only thing Skidmore is famous for. But that's in Missouri, and I was like, whoa. So one of my relatives was telling me this, and she was like, yeah, so that's the kind of people that live out here. And I was like, well, I don't piss anybody off.
Well, at least you know that they're going to have your back.
Dude.
They ain't going to snitch. If the whole town's going to stay quiet about killing people,
I mean,
those are the kind of people you want behind you.
Yeah. I just find it weird. I've thought about this a lot. Like, what a strange situation that is. What a weird... And apparently all the people were kind of like... They allegedly felt that way because the justice system had let him down. Every time the guy got arrested and drug into court, this fancy lawyer came in.
I mean, he was raping girls and
so
then marrying them, and he was like threatening and shooting people, and nothing was happening.
Horrible freaking guy.
I mean,
and the justice system failed him completely. So they, boom, frontier justice. You know, like vigilante.
That's how they used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, I'm just surprised somebody didn't go up and like beat this guy's ass. Maybe everybody was so scared.
Like, after if he had shot that dog, I would have just killed him.
Somebody would have been. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody.
I would have just waited till he walked out of a bar drunk as hell and like.
Apparently, he was always armed and he was really big and like violent. So like, it might have been hard to get a beat on the guy. You would think somebody. I don't know. But the whole town eventually turned on him. His luck ran out.
Good for Skidmore,
Missouri.
Yeah, good for them.
Skimmer. So I left the land of frontier justice and flew back through for the second time through the abysmal hell that is the Charlotte airport. The Charlotte airport is like a big international hub kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And if you're like leaving one part of the country flying to there, they usually go through there, kind of like Atlanta. Problem is, it's shaped like a big penis, or like Florida or something. It's kind of like Cuba, but like side-goggled over, you know. The problem is every plane I was on landed at one end of it, and the plane that I was connecting was on the other end of it, which is like a mile away.
Isn't that usually how it goes?
Dude, and there's no shuttle or anything like that, so you have to take those like moving sidewalks that go real fast.
I love those. I like to pretend I'm moonwalking.
Oh, I was go so fast on it. But some people just get on them and stand.
Yeah.
And those are now the bane of my existence.
Those.
If you're that dick that's just standing on the moving sidewalk in the airport, bro, I'm coming through there I've got the little suitcase on rollers.
Yeah.
I'm about to take you out. You're going down, sucker. Anyway.
Just chilling.
So
just chilling. They're probably just reading the newspaper, scrolling on their phone, not realizing what's going on.
You know what?
So inconsiderate.
If I thought that was what was going on, I probably would be a little more sympathetic. But I saw the look in these people's eye. Like, I looked them in the eye, Grace, and they were just standing there not giving a crap, lazy. And I barreled past them. I think I knocked one person nearly over.
Fuck those people.
Fuck them. I had a plane to catch. And anyway, so I survived the airport. I'm glad everybody would be glad to know that. And I flew to Atlanta.
I'm glad you didn't get an assault charge like Danny from Tool.
I know. And then to see... Here's the weird thing. If it would have happened...
That's probably why he got arrested.
Here's why it's a mystery.
Fucking people standing on the sidewalk.
The Kansas City airport is super, super well laid out. Like, the terminals aren't real big. Like, you get off and then you're immediately like in the part. Like, it's actually a real smart airport. Like, I can't see how anybody would get mad at the Kansas City airport. But if Danny would have gotten arrested in Charlotte, I would have been like, I feel you, bro. I feel you. If I would have been there, I would have fought them with you. I could totally see why somebody would lose their mind and beat ass in the Charlotte airport.
Charlotte airport?
Yeah. If you ever have to fly through there, just get ready.
Our airport is fucking tiny.
Our airport's... the Kansas City airport is like a
small.
mini... the Kansas City airport is like a bigger version of our airport. It's not terribly confusing. It's, all the confusing stuff is like all...
Do you remember how our airport used to be? Like our older airport?
No, I don't think I ever knew. I don't think I ever flew then.
I still remember it. It was a lot... I felt like it was a lot bigger, but it wasn't as well laid out.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's interesting. No, I don't. I think I've only been to the current version of it. Maybe a long time ago. I flew a couple times in the...
That's probably like 10. This has probably got to be like 25 years ago.
Then I did go through, because I flew to a couple other places when I worked for Guitar Center, which would have been like around 2000. And we went to like New Orleans and Boca Raton and some stuff.
I think the largest airport I've ever been in, I think, is Miami's. I've been to DC's, Atlanta's.
I've been through Chicago. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. I've been to Vegas.
Chicago airport is like a city that wants to kick your ass the whole time.
I've been to Austin.
I'd love to go to Austin. I went to Dallas recently, but
anyways, next.
So okay. So prior to the recording, this is good. Prior to the recording of this podcast, I told you to check out a video.
Yeah,
I'm going to pause. 2 videos. I'm going to pause now and tell the audience, like, you should look at these videos before I finish this story. So here's how it works. There's a thing called Party All the Time. All right. And I'll give you a little background. As most people have heard the song, Party All the Time, Party All the Time.
My girl
wants to party all the time. And yeah. Woo-hoo. Okay. So Eddie Murphy I take it back. Eddie Murphy recorded that song. It was written and produced by Rick James.
Rick James, bitch.
James, bitch. And it was written...
Give me some cocaine, bitch.
Unity. It was written by him in 1985, and Eddie Murphy sang it and put it out. And apparently, I didn't find this out until today. It was done because Richard Pryor dared Eddie Murphy. Well, it was a dare by Richard Pryor wagering on whether or not Eddie Murphy could actually sing. So he went to Rick James, who said, I'm gonna help you sing, bitch. And he wrote the song and they recorded it. And then the video is them like in the studio recording it.
Yeah.
So you see them like, he pretends like it's the first time he's ever sang. He tells them to put his headphones on and they do it. And it was like it's a real watered down, typical 80s like synth pop tune. And it really was just there to make Eddie Murphy's career bigger. So if anybody's not seen Party All the Time, go watch it now. I'll wait. Okay, we're back. So, cut to me getting through Charlotte. I go to Atlanta and I meet up with this band who I'm friends with, and I absolutely love them. Everybody's heard me rave about Thank You Scientist. That's Thank You Scientist. They are kind of a prog rock, but funny kind of a band. Like, they play crazy good. They play better than anybody, but they're lighthearted and hilarious. And they just do the craziest music that's really, really, really fun. There's like 85 people in the band, including 2 horn players and like guitarist, bassist, and a violinist, electric violin. So a lot of times you're hearing like this crazy guitar solo, and it's not even the guitar; it's the violin player, Ben. They were so wonderful to us. They were real nice to us in Atlanta. We hung out with them, and I make guitar cables for them. So I went down there to see them. I hadn't seen these guys since before the pandemic. So we were talking after the show was phenomenal. They played with a band called Intervals and a couple other bands. It was phenomenal. They recently toured with Coheed and Cambria too, but they're really, really great. I can't say enough nice things about them, particularly Ben and Tom, the guitarist. Wonderful guys and funny as shit. I mean, really, really funny. Like just good dudes. And so I was commenting on this video they did because Thank You Scientist did a cover video of Party All the Time, which starts out almost shot for shot like the original Eddie Murphy video, except instead of Eddie's band and Rick James, it's Thank You Scientist, who doesn't look anything like Eddie Murphy, which is funny. But he's even wearing like the same shirt, and he even claps at the same time.
They all play their roles perfectly. I was dying. I was laughing.
It's funny.
When I was,
and they don't
hilarious.
look like that at all. That's not. They don't look anything like they do in that Party All the Time
like
video.
the old paneling studio.
Yes.
Like all the 80s.
Yes. So I have a story. So I finally got to tell them face to face. I go, dude, so I love your new album. I like that, but dude, that Party All the Time video, it's not on an album. It just came out in 2019 with no warning. And I was like, dude, that wrecked me. And that they do like a choreographed dance thing. I mean, we should pause again so you can go, if you've already watched the Eddie Murphy video, now you should go and watch the Thank You Scientist Party All the Time video. I'll wait. Okay, we're back. So, anyway, I'm talking to him like, dude, that was incredible. And they go, oh man, we've got some stories about the making of that video. And so I go, well, let's hear it. So they had to find a studio that looked like the original studio. I thought it was the original, but the original was actually in Rick James' house. So this was just a studio somewhere in New Jersey that looked kind of like it with the wood paneling and all that shit. And so the guy who owned the studio where they shot the video was like apparently a very heavy drinker. He was an older gentleman who drank a lot. I don't know. They didn't make it clear if he had a drinking problem, but the biggest thing, the takeaway here is he was blind. And somehow he agreed to rent them the studio, but he said, I'm going to be there. So him and a bunch of his friends were there just like getting drunk while they were shooting the video. And they said he was kind of belligerent, kind of hard to deal with. Like he was kind of mean to him. And so anyway.
Sounds like me.
Well, maybe.
Just kidding.
They for some reason, there was supposed to be like an elderly guy in the video or an actor, and they put an ad on Craigslist. And so all of a sudden, their inbox starts blowing up, but it's this old guy, and he's naked in every picture. It's just total nudity. He's doing like yoga poses. He's just sending them like crotch shots, dick pics, the whole thing. And it's that guy in the video. And they said that he sent them like 100 pictures.
The guy at the keyboard?
Yes. He's not affiliated with these guys in any way. And I go, so you didn't know that guy? They go, hell no. He literally just blew our inbox up with like elderly porn. And they said, oh, this is our guy. So they hire the guy. He drives down from Syracuse.
He's blind?
No, the old guy playing the keyboard is just the naked, the elderly nudist. Meanwhile, the studio owner is like blind and drunk somewhere else in the studio. And you've got this 8-piece band in there trying to do a funny video. So they said it was crazy. But he comes down from Syracuse. He performs in the video. And they have to blur his private parts out. So that
I saw it swinging.
Well, listen to this. So they said, we do the video. It's hilarious. Like, we're getting it done. But as they were shooting it, the studio owner gets progressively madder. Even though he's rented the studio to him, he gets drunker and madder. And eventually, he kicks everybody out. They've got all the footage. The video's done. But they told me that he said, eventually the guy was just drunk. I hesitate to use the term blind drunk. Thanks, I'll be here all weekend. Try the meatloaf. But he eventually just comes over and goes, get out. Everybody out. Everybody out. Get out. Get out. And they were like, okay. And then it got quiet. And then the guy goes, are you still here? He couldn't tell that they were there or not. And it got it on camera. But they didn't include it in the video because they didn't want anybody to think they were making fun of the blind guy. But he had to like kick him out and then make sure they told him that they were gone because he couldn't tell who was in there or not. And that's how that crazy video came to be. But here's the funny thing. Somebody created a Pornhub channel because of the naked old guy.
Yeah.
So there's a uncensored version of this somewhere on Pornhub where you see the guy's dangly bits and everything. This old guy, this elderly nudist, that he met them on Craigslist. And the title, get this. This is still just wrecking me. The title of the video is Senior Citizen Creams for Progressive Rock. Yes.
Creams for progressive rock. Oh, yeah, you're not making that shit up.
No, the guitarist told me.
He looks so happy.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
I shot my load there.
So So our country is, me and my sister were talking about it today because her car for the third time in 2 weeks is fucked up. So
Damn.
like I've been having her, she has a Jeep. Shouldn't have gotten a Jeep. It's expensive to fix. They fuck up a lot.
I've heard.
So I've been driving her around, taking her to work, doing stuff. We were talking about how people are so overly sensitive.
Yeah.
And things are just like going down fast. So like I can admit to this. This is how it came up. When first Black Lives Matter came out, right? I didn't realize that all lives matter was what white people were saying to black people, and when African Americans were saying Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, it was like a reaction.
Right. So like I remember making a post being like, all lives matter. We need to respect each other, respect, your neighbor, like love your neighbor. That's really just simple. You might not have to like them. They are 100% different from you, but just fucking treat them with respect, dude.
Yeah.
Don't degrade someone because they're different from you. And I want my daughter to be that way too, to treat everyone just with respect, even if they're different. She has experienced racism because I've seen it, but she didn't realize what it is. She thought it was just because they didn't like her.
Oh.
I've had men tell me that I've ruined because I've dated African Americans.
See, how?
And I have been spit on for it.
In 2021, how is this still, like, how is that type of, like, ignorant racism a thing? And I don't mean to say that there's a type of racism that's not ignorant, and I don't mean to say that there's a type of racism that's good, because there isn't. But there are more complicated forms of racism. But the idea that just because you, like, dated somebody, or even are friends with somebody of a different race, and that somehow informs anything about your personality or your value or their value, how are people still in 2021? How has that not died out? Like, how is that the generations has that not expired?
It's the South, baby,
dude.
It's the South. So
that's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing because you would think that even now, with people who are in high school now, everything that's going on, it would get better, and it's not. It is a little bit because things are changing. Kids are starting to stand up for kids when they sing like, oh no, he's getting bullied, or that police officer's picking him out because he's black, or something like that. So it is, or maybe it's the same, but now it's all on social media, so we're able to see it more and bring more of awareness.
100%. Everybody's got a camera.
But it's just a fucked up way. I mean, it was just, I'm being young and people would say that to me. It just so ugly.
It's very ugly. I don't feel like we ever escape all that stuff until it doesn't matter what race anybody is. You know what I mean? Like, until it's just like not an issue. Like, it doesn't matter what color you are. Let's just talk about, like, are you an asshole or not?
I will say, so bad of me. I enjoy getting in debates and arguments with people who are racist.
I get a little charge out of it too.
I enjoy it
because I'm always like, where are you going to go with this?
Because I just kill them.
Like,
they have nothing they can say when I'm done.
Because there's no foundation for it. It's ignorant. So sooner or later, if you argue with a dildo like that, you're going to get a nugget of they're going to say something crazy. Well, it's because of this, and you're going to be like, wow. No, there it is. No shit.
Can I record that? Please let me put that on there. But I do, and this people, it's just, and it's white. It's all races. It's not just whites and African Americans.
No,
it's you got Asians, Middle Eastern, all Asians being beat up because of COVID.
Yeah, stupid stuff. Stupid stuff.
So racism. I mean, it's all colors that are doing it. It's just so ignorant. I feel like we're just a society of bitches.
And I tell you something, dude. Like, the idea that everybody's opinion is like so important now. Like, that's one thing
Your opinion means nothing.
Nobody
you can
cares.
Wipe your ass with it.
Nobody gives a shit. And like, social media made everybody feel like they were
entitled.
And they were being like,
They're able to put it.
Yeah. They're a star. Their opinions, because I can post it.
I matter.
It'll go up online and people will read it. Like, and they'll see what I think. And I'll just say, like, they feel like they're doing something brave by hitting post, sending that stupid Facebook message or whatever. And like, people feel like their opinion matters so much now that they do dumb shit like that. Well, sorry to tell you,
You're one person out of what, 8 billion now in the world.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, you're nothing. You'll
Yeah.
just be flicked off this planet, and another life form will be born, and
That's
you will
right.
no longer exist.
Yeah, nobody creams for your progressive rock. Nobody's creaming for your rock.
No, that's
Nobody.
not happening.
Nobody. So, on that note, be good to each other.
It's the holiday time,
Yeah,
New
let-
Year's. We have a new year coming in. I would really like to not see posts about how 2022 is my year and I'm gonna work out more and oh God, hot girl summer's coming. I'm gonna please fucking save it. Just go into the fucking year normal. Just fucking go into it normal.
Oh, man.
Because you know it's coming. I'm
Don't
already
lean into
seeing
that. Don't lean into it too much, you know.
This is going to be my year. Forget him. He can have 2021 grace. This is new me. I'm going to rock it.
I wish you guys could see her right now. It's really funny.
Makes me want to fucking... This next year is no different, except the numbers are different and you're
Yeah.
getting older.
Yeah.
And you're gonna find new things about yourself.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
one step closer to osteoarthritis. That's it.
I'm going to make a list of how I can be better next year. How about you just make a fucking list to survive? How about that? How about you just make a fucking list to do that? No, I do think goals are
Goals are important.
but
how
why
you
the
share-
fuck why do you always do them at the beginning of the year?
How you share your goals is a different matter. That's up for a lot of debate on how many, like, and I know a lot of people go, if I post it on Facebook or if I share it on social media, then I'm held accountable. Like if I say it in front of everybody, then I have to do it.
No one gives a fuck about your goals or your fucking opinion. No one cares but you and your fucking mom. Sorry, I just yelled. It was really loud.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, that's true. So like, I mean, I have like goals are important, long term, short term. I'm about to rock out a short term goal that I have. Going back to school in January. I only have 5 classes till I graduate.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm not fucking posting that. I mean, like 2022 is my year. Finally,
Hey guys, I got a good grade on my test.
look at
today.
I've got my goals set for 2022. No, I'm not bashing. Have goals for yourself, but don't fucking jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, they say a lot of the people that talk about goals like that are like, this is the year I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. That's their version of working on it. And then they just give up because they made a post. They feel like they did the work by saying it, but the people that really get shit done, like they just make lists and fucking go through them. Of all the people that like or comment on your posts, there's a whole bunch of people that don't say anything, but they see it.
Yep.
And whatever you're posting, you're dragging them through it.
Yep. Social media is the devil, and I fall right into it because sometimes I make stupid posts, and then like hours later, I'll look at it and be like, "That was fucking dumb, Grace."
I do the same thing. You send me a
Like-
lot of funny shit though. Like you've sent me some videos that were hilarious.
Oh, I'll send you that, but I'm talking like either post or like Snapchat or like photo or something. I'm like, why do you do that? When I'm drunk, I will just like. So I'm on Snap. Like that is someone needs to take my phone away from me when I get drunk.
Don't they have an app like that where you tell it when you start drinking and then it won't let you make posts after like?
No, I did not know that, but I'm going to look into that.
If not,
because,
somebody needs to invent that.
Because I do this too often, and this is one of my toxic traits, and I hate it so much.
Oh, I
about
can't wait.
myself.
Let's hear it.
I'll get drunk, like super drunk, and you can know when I've gotten there because I'll start posting shit on Snapchat, like post after post after post, and I look drunker and drunker, and I'll start sending shit to people, and I'll wake up the next morning like at 7, and I'm like, oh my fucking head. What did I post last night?
And you go on and see
I
it,
go
you're
on and I
horrified.
see, and I'm like, delete. And I'm like, God, Grace, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You have a high output. You've got a high output for when you're intoxicated.
And the thing is I do come up with clever shit to say.
I believe it.
I totally do
You're a
come up
giver.
with
You're a
clever
giver.
shit when I'm drunk, and like I'll put a post picture of myself and like some smart ass comment, some shit on there, and then sober Grace will read it, and I'll just literally like head in hand, like
Oh,
what
man.
the fuck, Grace. So I will say that's one of my, I'll say a toxic trait of mine. So fucking social media, man. At least I'm not putting my opinion out there.
Dude,
I will
I've
say
been
that.
guilty of I've been guilty of like getting a little intoxicated. And why does it feel so good to get a hold of your phone when you're drinking?
Let me just tell everyone what
And
I'm
like
doing in the world.
send people a message and just like
I look so good right now.
I don't do that. I always send people messages like, "Hey, what's up? Just thinking about you." Like,
I haven't talked to you in
yeah.
forever.
Hey, just want you to know, like, we're still bros. Or like,
Love you, man.
Yeah.
I saw your post on Facebook last week. Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
Some shit like, yeah, I do the same fucking thing.
I wonder how many people that see it go, oh, they're drunk.
Oh my God.
Because I see people's posts and I
have a
think
story.
I see people's posts often and I go, they're drunk. That person's drunk right now. Because and one of the things that tips me off is the frequency of the posts. So if I see like a recently divorced friend that's putting a lot of like, I love being single and like blah, blah, blah. And obviously like at a bar with somebody they just met trying to make somebody else jealous who left. Like, you know what I mean? And they get in there like, I love making hot new friends. And it's like some girl 20 years younger than them. And they just looks fucking desperate. But it came 13 seconds after the I love being single. And like that came 1 week after the divorce. And I just want to be like, bro, quit drinking. Put the phone down. Stop.
You need the app.
This is going, yeah.
You get the app.
Yeah.
My thing is like
An app or an honest friend that'll call him and go, bro, go to bed.
I've totally called an ex.
Yeah.
Just like, but then they take it in a different way. And then the next day you get like a really nice long paragraph being like, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I gotta stop. It's like, God, Grace, you already broke the heart once.
What's worse?
Do it again.
What's worse if you get no response? If you send like some crazy text and then you don't hear anything, and you just go, "Oh Jesus, I don't know. Did they read it? It's like, do they have a different phone number?"
Well, one thing is like my dude. Like when I get my feelings and I drink, and I like keep. That's when like crazy girl brain. When you don't discuss how you feel with your person, and you're in your feelings, and then you do go out and you're drinking. Man, you should ask him about that.
Is it pretty serious?
I don't do it anymore.
What you mean? You guys would like not? You have unresolved issues.
So imagine like if you like you're just talking to someone, right? You're not even like really dating, but you're like talking to someone.
Yeah.
But you're like in your emotions, and you don't discuss how you really feel.
But then you try to go out
because
together.
you just want to be like cool, right? But you're out, not with them, and you got drunk, and you're missing them.
See, I've been in that situation, but I would send a different text. I'd be like, "Hey, just seeing what you're up to," like dumb stuff like that. But I've never been like into somebody, and I went.
No, this isn't just like normal drunk, like hanging out. This is like 2 a.m. just got Taco Bell. Text messaging. And then like he said always the last text message would be like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything I just said.
Like that, not just Bill
Please
Grande, it
forgive
really
me.
calmed me down.
God. Yeah, I need the app. I haven't done that in a really, really long time.
Maybe I just heard a comedian say that. But I know that there has been talk of an app, and you either like, I don't know if it has like a breathalyzer attached to it. I don't know, but basically the phone learns when you're drunk and stops you from doing shit.
Is it because you pick up your phone a bunch and go to Facebook?
Fuck, I don't. It probably does. Yeah. Or you take a picture of yourself.
How many pictures has Grace taken of herself?
It's probably like when you set your Face ID when you're sober, but you probably set one when you're drunk. Like next time you get drunk, take a picture of yourself, and then when it sees that, it goes,
Nope.
Yep. All you can do is dial 911 or a tow truck or the bail bondsman. So we're going to. What do you think? Let's pause. Should we pause?
Yeah.
We're going to pause.
Yeah.
We're going to pause because we've got a lot more to talk about, and it's going to be a two-parter. So you guys come back and join us for the second half of our
December-ish?
December-ish.
No.
the December-ish. I don't know. It's the holidays. We'll be back.
Oh my.